Hello! Today we're going to talk about how to draw your character consistently. Now, this is a very big worry for a lot of artists, and although it is important if you have your own character, obviously you want them to look the same every time you do it, but don't worry too much about it, or what I mean is don't worry if your character doesn't look 100% the same every time you draw them. It's very normal for them to change their looks from time to time or every time you draw them, because sometimes you'll change your mind with the way you're drawing them or about some details of your character. But there's a few things you can do to draw them as consistently as possible. So one of the things is by doing a turnaround. By drawing a turnaround of your character, you're going to have a reference for you to know how to draw them anytime you want to draw them. So I have here my Elspeth turnaround. If I want to draw her again, I can open this document here and use it as reference when drawing my character. The same goes with this one here. I have Jean. If I want to draw Jean again, I can look at this reference at my turnaround here and draw her exactly as she is here. And I also can come up here and pick up the colors that she uses instead of just trying to get the colors right from my memory. I have them here, I can color pick them, and bam, my character is then colored. So a very good way to do it is to draw a turnaround. I do have a video about turnarounds and some turnaround tips, so if you want to have some ideas on how to do that, check it out and it will help you with that. Now, the next thing you can do to draw your character more consistently is by doing an expression sheet. So if you draw your character or you have a sheet with many expressions of your character wearing different expressions, you'll already know how your character behaves depending on how they're feeling. So if they are sad, you know how to draw them. You already have a reference on how to draw them. If they're very angry, there we go, we have here. So let's say you're drawing a comic and your character is in that comic, so obviously you'll have to draw different expressions, right? And it will be much easier for you to draw your character correctly or consistently if you already did a reference sheet of expressions. So having a reference sheet of expressions and a turnaround is going to be very helpful into not only memorizing but always having a reference of your own characters, so you know how to draw them. You just need to look at them and draw accordingly. Now, of course, my next tip on this is practice. The more you draw your character, the better you'll know them. So I have here my first drawing of Jean. Then I have here another one. As you can see, she's not exact copy of my first drawing. However, when you look at her, you can recognize her. You have here 5 drawings and you can recognize that this is Jean. Now, as you can see, I do have quite a lot of details on her. So for example, here, this pattern on her. I have all these potion bottles here. The pattern again, we have some fringes here on her coat. So these things are the kind of things that can be very easy to forget, especially the pattern. So that's why I always draw a turnaround of my character. I always have a drawing of my character just standing still so I can go back to. So for example, for this pattern here, I always open this file and draw her according to this. So I'll go check the pattern and draw it on my new drawing. Another thing is, for example, the freckles. Even though it's my favorite thing on her, when I'm focusing on drawing something, a whole piece, I might forget this. It's pretty normal. So again, I like to have my reference here always by my side when I'm drawing her. Now I have a few more drawings of her here. There we go, we have this one. This is actually a draw this in yourself challenge. So if you want, you can draw your own version of Jean here. Just go then, if you want to share of course, you can go to Instagram, tag me at art.by.corgi. So do have fun with that if you want to. So we do have this drawing of Jean here. And then I have another one here, Jean as a fairy. So as you can see, she doesn't, for example, in this one, this Draw This in Your Style, she doesn't look exactly the same, right? But it is the same character. Maybe she's a bit grown up here, she grew up a little bit, but I can still recognize her. So don't worry a lot about drawing them exactly or 100% the same, a perfect copy of the first drawing ever you did, because you're always developing, growing as an artist. And now comes my next tip. It is also a little bit about the practice part. A great way to practice drawing your characters is by creating a story for them. If you create a story for them, you will have no other choice but to draw them over and over again. So create a story for them, create drawings with them interacting, like here. Maybe it doesn't need to be a full comic, but maybe little pieces like this one that I did here, it can be very helpful. So you create just a situation and you draw your characters. The more you draw your characters, the easier it will be for you to learn them and to draw them the same way anytime you want to draw them. These are my tips to drawing your character consistently. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like and subscribe to see more videos like this, and remember, keep on drawing.